Well, hello everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Mel. We are going to be talking about how to end emotional eating. The reason I came up with this topic is, well, first of all, I am re-recording some of the trainings in my program, my 12-week program, the Ultimate Feminine Weight Loss Formula, and this was one of the ones that was coming up, and it actually came up in some of my conversations this week. So I wanted to talk about it mostly because there's an underlining thing there that a lot of us aren't addressing when it's coming to weight loss. Most people, when they think about weight loss, they come to me and they're like, okay, it's about the food. I just like eating food. I like the convenience of fast food. Junk food is tastier. But what if I were to tell you that is not the reason why you are turning to junk food? And your weight issues have very little, if anything, to do with food at all. That is what we're going to be talking about today. So if you've ever eaten for any reason besides hunger, then stay tuned and join me. If you're joining me live, give me a hashtag team live. If you are catching the replay, give me a hashtag team replay. If you're seeing me in Women Helping Women, please go ahead and join me in the Ultimate Feminine Food Formula or the Ultimate Feminine Weight Loss Formula group. Just put group below and I will shoot you the link, because every week we are talking about the real underlining reasons why we are not living in the body, the dream body that we are meant to be aligned with. And it is so much more than diet and exercise, right? That's the strategy, but how do you get yourself to do the strategy? And are you trying to do a strategy that's not even aligned with you? You as a female, you as your unique alignment and activation code, all of these things. Hello, Melissa. Thank you for joining me. Hello, Emily. Appreciate you guys. Hello. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So let's get right into it. So hello, Heather. Hi, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today. We are going to make this brief, but I definitely want to give you guys so much information right now. So, when people come to me and they say it's food, I normally go, okay, it's probably not the food. There's some underlying cause. Even if you have a food addiction, it started somewhere else, right? So let's talk about the three things that we are going to be talking about in this program. And we're only going to be, it's going to take 15 minutes. So we're going to get in, we're going to get out, and we're going to give you as much information as possible, because that is what I want for you. I want you guys to have real changes, because people are looking at this so wrong. When we think about our physical health, it is not separate from our mental and emotional health, guys. It is not separate. You cannot treat mental and emotional health and ignore physical health, and vice versa. They are intertwined, right? Just like if you have heart disease, you're not going to figure out, okay, what can I do for the heart? You got to think, what am I going to do for the person, for the whole person? And that's physically, mentally, and emotionally, and spiritually, right? So number one, I want you to first, we have to be aware, right? So number one, we want to be aware of the emotional state you are in. So what I normally have my clients do is I have them do what's called a nutritional coaching session, where they actually write down what they're eating, when they're eating, and what their emotional state was. And when I speak about emotions, I'm not just saying, were you sad? Were you depressed? You could be eating an emotional state of celebration. You could connect food with love. You could be anxious. So using food rather than just being hungry, but using it to change your emotional state. So first of all, you want to decide, and here I would be taking notes. You want to know what emotional state you're in, and then you want to decide, what state would you prefer to be in? So sometimes we are so detached from ourselves, we are not even registering how we feel. Like if you're stressed, maybe you're eating to calm down, to find comfort, to find peace, to be more present, or maybe it's to distract. Are you distracting from all the chaos in your life, and you're now going to be focused in and numbing and distracting yourself? You can do this with people. You could do this with drinking. You could do this with shopping. There's so many other things, but right now we're talking about doing it with food. Well, we're going to talk about the emotional part too and how we release that. But in the moment, one, focus on the emotional state you're in. Two, determine what emotional state you'd rather be in. And then three, these are all things you can do, is figure out some non-food activities that you can do that would help bring you to that state. So there's another reason why, and I'm going to go into this further in the very end. But the thing is that if you're in an emotional state and you're trying to get to another emotional state, food is not really going to bring there. It's kind of covering. It's kind of distracting. It's kind of playing with your head, and it's not really going to get you to where you want to get to. So that's number one. That's just the first point. What emotional state are you in? Which one would you rather be in? And what's a non-food activity way to get there instead? You want to start practicing this, becoming aware. Very good point. Associating food with emotions and changing the emotional state. Yes. So number two we want to get into is I want you guys to make a realization. So that's number one. This is kind of like, let's get away from using food for our emotions and start focusing on things that are going to actually make that shift. One, because most people come to me because they do want to release weight. And so if you're constantly turning to food, not only is it going to give you the weight, unwanted weight you don't want, but also it's not going to help with the emotions, right? So there's two reasons why you'd want to do this. So number two, I want you to make this very focused, intentional, present. I want you to bring awareness to this. So one thing that happens is when we have an emotional state, we decide we want food, right? We make that decision and we have internal dialogue. So one, I want you to determine your emotional state. This is your second part. Two, I want you to be aware of the internal debate, the internal dialogue, the back and forth. Am I going to? Am I not going to? Why do I want to do it? Why don't I want to do it? I want you to become aware of the dialogue you have every single time you decide to eat food. Why you want to do this is I want you to realize there's such thing as decision fatigue. There's this decision engine. And if you are going back and forth, whether you're going to eat the pizza, eat the ice cream, eat the dessert, whatever it is. Again, food isn't good or bad. It's how is it affecting us and being aware and making conscious decisions. So if you are going back and forth, what's going to happen is you're no longer in control of your decisions. Your decisions get fatigued and worn out. And from that place, you are going to make a decision that is the easiest. And the easiest decision to make in that instance is the decision you've always made, which is eat the junk food, eat the food, eat the thing. So in that moment, you are no longer making a conscious decision. You are making the easiest decision, which is eating the food. So let's say you have chosen the food because you went through that decision, you had decision fatigue, and you chose the food. I want you to notice, again, this takes being mindful. So when we talk about intuitive eating and mindful eating, this is a part of the process. I want you to notice you instantly feel better. Right? You instantly feel better. Why is that? Because the decision is the thing that released the serotonin and dopamine. You guys, I'm repeating it. The decision is the thing that released the serotonin and dopamine. The decision, not the food. The food does release things like carbs and sugar. They can have addictive qualities like cocaine. But I need you to realize that the decision in it itself, the decision you go, I'm going to order the pizza. The decision where your hubby says, do you want ice cream? You go, yes. Where you go, oh, there's that bag of chips. The decision releases the serotonin and dopamine. So the next step is, because, a lot of us will actually correlate that feel good feeling to the food when it's really to the rebellion, when it's really to the decision. You get that little bit of like, I made the decision. Like there's a little excitement. There's a little bit of a reward that is released, as in serotonin and dopamine. It's not the food that released it. It's the rebellion. So the last part of this, what I want you to do, this is the last part. So you have the emotional state. I want you to be aware of the internal dialogue, and I want you to be aware of the feeling when you make the decision. And then number 4 is, when you eat the food, whether it's pizza, let's say it's pizza and you chose to get the pizza. I know that I am sensitive to both dairy and gluten. If I eat pizza, I know for a fact 30 minutes later, I'm going to feel like shit. I am going to feel lethargic. I am going to feel bloated. I am going to probably, yes, all of those things. You can only imagine. So what I want you to do is I want you to think, okay, instead of going pizza equals celebration, chocolate equals comfort, chips equal fun and distraction. I want you to bypass all that and go right to the end and go, pizza equals yucky feeling. Because that's how I feel, right? Chocolate, or at least eating too much chocolate, makes me feel guilty and disappointed. Or whatever it is. And again, not saying that you can't eat these things. I'm saying if you have a specific goal and you have a tendency for emotional eating, this is the way where you can start to rewire that. So those are the first two. The last one, you guys, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys are liking this topic. Mel, I think you're talking about me here. LOL, this is definitely speaking to my heart and my mind. Oh, I love this topic, right? I sure miss pizza for the same reasons. So the last thing I want to talk about, because we're talking about emotions, and remember how I said it's not the food? We use the food as a coping mechanism. We use the food because those decisions, when we go to eat the food, they release serotonin and dopamine. It's not the food though. So what is it, you guys? This is the key that I want you guys to take away. Unresolved emotions. When you have unresolved emotions year after year, what we end up doing is we're eating the food, right? We're eating it to distract from stress, to give ourselves comfort when we're sad, when we're angry, when we're celebrating. So instead of dealing with those emotions, we are stuffing them down. We are distracting ourselves. We are pushing them away. But the thing with emotions is emotions aren't bad, guys. Emotions are a signal from your body to pay attention. Emotions are a signal from your body to pay attention. To what? What are we paying attention to? Emotions are a lesson. So what happens over our lifetime is we have these events, we have these things, and these emotions are signals. And we need to actually learn the lessons of what these emotions are bringing up, right? And our subconscious will bring them up, and things in present moment will bring them up. And if we don't deal with them, if we don't learn the lessons, let's say the emotion comes up and we eat food and we numb it, right? Say the emotion comes up and we go to cake and we just ignore it, right? We had a bad day. Instead of dealing with the emotions and the stress, we turn to going out to dinner with our hubby. Guess what? Those emotions aren't going anywhere. They are going to come back up. They're going to keep coming. Your subconscious is going to keep bringing them back up until you deal with them. And how do you deal with them? You have to learn the lessons of the emotion. The emotion is like the mail carrier, the post office, or the mail carrier, right? And the lesson is the letter, right? The mail carrier comes. You're not going to push them away. You're not going to hide them away. You're not going to say, get the hell out of here. No, you want to take the lesson, the letter, and then you can say, goodbye, postman, I'll see you tomorrow, right? You want to figure out what the lesson is, because if you don't, it'll keep coming up. And so if you're an emotional eater, those emotions are going to keep coming up, and you're going to keep eating to distract them. They're going to keep coming, going to keep eating to distract them. And they're going to get stronger and louder, and the signal pretty soon will be so loud that you cannot ignore it. And this is what happens, and this is why people struggle with weight when they have unresolved negative emotions, guys. You need to release them, and that's what I do with my clients. We do processes where we actually go in and we release fear, sadness, anger, guilt, all of these things that keep coming up. So until you get to the root cause, they will keep coming up, and you will keep using your coping mechanisms, and this is what's going to keep you stuck in this body that isn't aligned with you, because your aligned body is not holding on to and storing unresolved negative emotions. Your aligned body is free. It's easy, right? That's who you're meant to be. But if you keep on ignoring the lessons, you can't be who you are. You can't evolve. The lessons are there for you to evolve. And the body's not going to stop the signals until you learn the lessons. Take the mail from the postman and say goodbye. And no, it doesn't make the emotions go away forever. You don't become a zombie. But here's the thing. When you have unresolved negative emotions, it's from your whole life. If you haven't dealt with the emotions from your whole life, they keep stacking like a string of pearls, right? Like a string of pearls. So you cut the first one and they all go away. And yes, in the moment, you're still going to have emotions, right? I mean, shit happens. People make you mad. things make you sad. These are intentional, but these are present emotions. And you can deal with these emotions in the moment, and they're pure emotions. Have you ever been really mad about something and dug down deep and realized you were actually mad about something that happened years ago, but something in the present keeps triggering it? Right. So you want to release that so you can deal with the emotions in the present. And that's the other things we were talking about, right? You want to deal with those emotions in the present. And this is how you remove the emotional eating. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm going to quick go over a couple comments here. So when I get upset and have thoughts running through my mind about food, I should talk myself about if I really need that food. Yeah, absolutely. So what you want to do is you want to go, okay, what is the emotional state I'm in? Right? So figuring out what emotional state you are in during this moment when you're about to reach for food and go, what can I do non-food wise to get to an emotional place that I want to be? And that doesn't necessarily mean distracting yourself with non-food things either. That's not necessary, because if you're bored, then you might want to find non-food activities. If you're someone who every time you're bored, you go to the cupboard. I know that's me. I'm like, what's in the cupboard? I'm bored. Let's fun activity. Let's have a field trip to the kitchen. No, but like if you are sad, your activity might be like, maybe you do just need a good cry. Maybe you want to like write in a journal. Maybe you want to call someone and have that connection. If you're upset, usually when we're upset and we're angry, there's some kind of boundary got crossed. So you either have to have a difficult conversation with someone, or maybe you have to have that conversation with yourself about what boundaries am I letting being crossed. So really determining the emotion and what that lesson is behind it, that can also guide your activity. Good, good, good. Ugh, I love chips. I totally need to change my mindset around this. And again, this isn't necessarily, this is just emotion. So if you eat chips from an emotional place, that's one thing. If you just like chips, then build chips into your diet, right? Don't make them like a offhands, like I can't eat chips, right? So it doesn't mean you can't have chips and ice cream and things that are delicious and decadent and yummy. You can, but you don't want to be going to food for non-food reasons such as emotions, distraction, numbing, because all it is putting more stress on the body. If the body's under some kind of stress and you give it junk food, you're creating more stress and you're not dealing with the first stress in the first place, which is whatever that emotional either trauma is or signal that the body wants you to work through. Then you don't want to be eating on top of it because you're ignoring the emotions and adding extra. Usually when we're emotional eating, we're not grabbing a salad, we're grabbing junk food, which a lot of those things have things in them that cause the body extra stress to try to break down when it's already in a hyper stressed situation or state. It's just doubly negative for you. You can build them in and have a healthier version of them. Absolutely. Those are definitely options around that. But if you're turning to them because of emotional reasons, that's when you want to take note. So I just wanted to mention, guys, that I am doing one-on-one training. If anyone is interested, I'm taking on 3 more people in the month of February with my one-on-one coaching. Right now, I am not opening up any group program. So if you're interested in a group program, you can always reach out and get on a wait list. I might do a group program come summer, but for right now, I am closing the doors to the group option. Or if you just want to see me more and you are not in my group, just put group below and I will definitely throw you a link to the Ultimate Feminine Weight Loss Formula group where I'm in here every week and I'm constantly just giving you as much value and trying to help you guys get to your goal, because again, the unwanted weight we have in our bodies is a symptom of the unwanted negative weight that we are holding on our shoulders. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you guys next Thursday. Bye, guys.